Okay everybody, we never did a kennel video last year because we were all sort of learning at the same time, but for any of you that need a refresher or for our new volunteers, here we go. So you've got the keypad where the entrance is for all of us, and the code is 4183. You'll hear a click, then you turn the knob and the door will open. When you come inside, you want to make absolutely sure that you lock the door. You've got to make the you've got to get the lock to shut, because when you let a dog out, if the dog escapes you and it pushes this door open, you've got a lost dog. Do not let dogs run loose in the kennel. Have them on a leash at all times inside and walk them right to the door so that they don't make a mess. If you come in and for some reason it is dark, this will be lit up. I'll just show you. There you go. You can't miss it. You can turn that on. The kennels are all latched in 3 ways. Okay, so you've got this latch, but then you have hooks. If you can see them right here and here, they drop down into the cage. So when you put the door on, drop the hooks down. That way, if the dog pushes on the top, they can't get out. You want to lock this, and then you want to take your carabiner, and you want to make sure that you've clipped the door to the cage itself. And that's just 3 ways to make sure that a dog does not get out. On top of every cage is going to be a bowl. If a dog is coming in, they look well nourished, and they're just lost, they're going to be picked up in an hour or 2. We do not have to feed or give water to that dog. Obviously, if it's a hot day, we're going to make all these kinds of exceptions, but some of these dogs may be on strict diets. My dogs might not eat what someone else's dogs eat. So unless we think this dog is starving or it's been stray or abandoned for a while, we're not going to feed these dogs. Some of the owners can actually get upset if they don't know what we've given them. Puppy pads, for any reason you think necessary, if you want to put them in there, you'll see that the police officer will have filled out this form so we get some information on where the dog comes from. Supervisors will have a little training session on how to actually post when you are manning the phone for the day and the dogs come in. We also have these little foot mats outside because dogs do tend to get water all over the place, or if it's a male dog and it lifts its leg, it could actually hit the floor. We walk dogs as often as possible so that they do not pee in their cages. If a dog leaves and a cage is nice and clean, there was actually a dog in here recently, but we didn't have to clean up because they didn't make a mess. If they do make a mess, obviously we are cleaning up. If we've got a wet mat or a wet blanket, if you think it's just water, you smell it, or if you know, go ahead and hang it out to dry for the day and we can actually reuse it. If it is urine or anything else, or food has gotten all over that, we do want to clean all this up, wipe everything down, and then you want to take what's wet and you want to put it upstairs in the loft in the dirty laundry baskets. Please make sure they do hit the basket and not get placed on the floor. Anybody who wants to do laundry, feel free, let me know, and I'm happy to get you started on how to do that. So speaking of cleaning, we have this bottle. It says Rescue on it. This spray bottle is what we want to use because we've already used the concentrate. Please don't use that bottle. It's way too intense. We also have a glass cleaner and some other stuff, and Dawn in here for any other kinds of cleaning. When a dog does come in, if you are looking to give it water, we have a cabinet full of water jugs. If you find any empty, feel free to fill them back up. We've got some extra blankets under here. And then if dogs do need medical attention, we've got it there. All of our puppy pads are right here. Our dog records are kept very specifically. This is our wildlife book, cleaning records for the DEM, intake records, and general state and town dog pound info. If I've got any dogs on medication, it's going to be set aside. Please don't move these around. Leave everything where you see them. We all need to know how to get to them. If you are walking a dog, we always have a box of dog bags, and you always want to take a dog bag with you. No exceptions. If they do go to the bathroom in the front yard, I've got to mow that. I do not like mowing over manure. That lawnmower is actually brand new, and that's my new baby. And it makes me mad when I get manure all over my nice new tires. So please pick up after the dogs. When you do walk a dog, there's always going to be a kennel sheet here that you will fill out. You just say what you did. Did you walk? Did you walk and feed? That's my initial. Dawn walked yesterday. The animal control officer actually popped by and did a walk for us, which was great. So fill that out as well. We keep this for the DEM. If you are looking for food, it's going to be back by the door. You've got treats in the first bin. You've got food in the second. We do have toys as well. Use them sparingly again, please. We only get these donated every once in a while. If we have 8 dogs that come in one day and they get picked up within an hour and we've given out 8 toys, that's not necessary. These are going to be for our long stays, the dogs that are stray or abandoned or just their owners aren't picking them up. And primarily we will have a dog in this big kennel. So that's usually where everybody always puts the very first dog. So if we have one at a time, this is the one that gets used the most, which means it needs to get cleaned the most. And if you are cleaning, it's not just the floor. You want to make sure that, especially if it's a male dog and they lift their leg, we need to clean up here, maybe even up here. We want to wipe all this down. Please remember, this is my office as well. I've got to sit there. I do not want to smell dog pee all day long. So everybody pitching in to help out would be really great. We keep a lot of leashes just kind of hanging right here if we need them for convenience. We did put a collar on Spree here. Any other leashes, harnesses, muzzles, anything you can think of. We even have some doggy jackets over there. We also do have thick welding gloves in case we get a dog in that's a little more on the aggressive side, or they can get bitey. And yes, we have had dogs in here. We've had dozens of freaking pit bulls. And some of them have been some of the sweetest dogs I've ever met. And some of them, unfortunately, are your quintessential, I'm going to bite you every time you try to take me out. Obviously, if we have somebody that we just cannot handle, now that the summer's here, we literally pick up these cages and maybe 3 or 4 of us can carry a cage outside and remove the pan. And that's the way the dog can stay until their owner comes. But for the most part, we can't discriminate against dogs. They do have to be walked, and especially the new people. You all signed on for it. If you joined us in the last year, our older people have been generous enough to agree to walk these dogs. We've got a heater, but we don't need that right now. We've got an air conditioner that will go in as soon as we actually need it. I think it's only 60 degrees in here today, so it's actually on the chilly side. Another reason why you always want to shut that door, because we don't want the heat or the air to get let out, and that door is giant, and the minute that opens, heat and air conditioning go rushing right out of there. So last thing, we do have kennel instructions hanging on the wall. Please do refer to them. That will help remind you of everything in this video. We also have, because the DEM makes us have an evacuation map, there's your evacuation. Boom, the door. If for some reason you can't get through that one, you go right over to this one and you open this latch in case of emergency. It opens inward, and then again, in case of emergency, you would head out the other exit. For some reason, if you couldn't get out there, you try that one. You could try the window. We do have 4 means of escape if anything ever happened. Last thing, always make sure when you leave, you shut the light back off. Thanks, everybody. For those of you that do not know where the kennel trash can is, it is the one that is right outside the kennel. It is bungeed shut so that no predators can get into it. It is where all the dog poop and puppy pads and anything else that you're going to be throwing out is going to go. Please don't put this stuff in the barn trash because that is uncovered, and do not put it in my office trash, which you should not be seeing anyway, because you will not be stepping into the office side of things, so you'd have no reason to use my trash can. The other thing I'm going to ask for the kennel, please do not put anything wet on the counter. The outside of this binder, which is all my Rhode Island state laws, which took me quite some time to put together, was completely wet and sticky, and all of the papers are really gross and damp, and they've got some sort of, I don't know, yuck on them. Please don't do that, because now I either have to live with this wet, disgusting binder, or I've got to take the time to recopy all of these. Again, I'm begging everyone to just think and not treat everything here like an outdoor barn. Thank you. And last thing on the kennel, just a reminder, if you do open up any kind of food or water, make sure the water is capped and put back in the cabinet. Make sure food containers are disposed of properly. If they need to be recycled, let's recycle them. If they need to be thrown out, let's throw them out. But please don't leave them sitting here or anywhere in the kennel. They can attract mice, rats, flies, ants, all that kind of nasty stuff that we really don't want in here. And they can come in, because as you can see, we are not airtight. You can see all the light coming through those doors. That's the way on the other side, as well as my office door. So just make sure we are leaving this place neat and tidy each time. Thank you.